Howdy folks, it's Tall Turtle here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to do a quick and easy one. If you've noticed, if you have the simulator yourself, if you've noticed during the splash screen of the current Canada World Update, there is the Center of Canada Park, POI, that they highlight. And I thought, why not fly there ourselves? So it should be pretty quick and easy. I do have the POI labels turned off because I want to try to find it ourselves, but I have previewed a real life map so I know how to get there. And since the satellite imagery basically exactly matches real life, it shouldn't be too bad. Where are we though? We're just outside of Winnipeg. We're just southeast of Winnipeg. So the plan is to go down to the park, maybe even land there and look around, and then fly back over Winnipeg and land at, northeast of Winnipeg. That's the plan. The plane we're in is, what plane are we in? We're in the basic Cub. Is it the... Maybe I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it's the basic Cub. It's already running because this airport doesn't have any parking spots to start at. So in order to do cold and dark, you have to start from a parking spot, but there aren't any. So whenever you start on a runway, it's running already. I could have turned it off and started over and everything, but I don't have a checklist, so I'd be kind of navigating. I mean, I know there's a checklist. Like, is it this one? Yeah, but I like my own checklist. So someday I'll put a checklist together and use a checklist, but whatever. That's why it's already running, because we just don't have to worry about it. I'm looking for lights, like cabin lights. Maybe there aren't any or whatever. I can't. Oh, spin's prohibited. Well, maybe we'll try spin anyway. Anyway, I don't see any lights. I'm sure they're there, but we're not gonna worry about it. Is there an ATIS? No ATIS. So we'll hit B on the barometer to set that up. There we go. It already is. Otherwise, one set of flaps down. I think there's flaps on this. And that's it. Super basic. The only time I've ever flown this plane was during the original bush trips, like the Nevada Gold Rush bush trip, which was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I can't remember how long the sim has been out, either 2 years or 3 years. I'll have to look that up. But anyway, if you want to see where we're starting from, it is Charlie Juliet Lima 5. And we're on runway 9 because the wind, when I looked at real world weather in the sim, is 50 degrees, 7 knots. So 50 to 90, that's the closest we can get. That's why we're on runway 9. So here we go. We're going to depart to the south.
Charlie Juliet Lima 5 traffic turtle soup, Tango Tango, Tango, 41 taking off runway 9er departure to the south.
And I'll tell you the plan as we go. So parking, brake off, hold the brake. Let's spool this thing up. And here we go. Shouldn't take too much space to take off from. Need a little bit of rudder, not much because we're pretty much in the wind. And there's rain, which is beautiful. I love the rain effects. Let's pop up. Brakes to stop the wheels. And flaps coming in. And we're going to keep our altitude very low just because we want to see what we're doing. So we want to head this way to the south. And then we'll get into a huge traffic interchange of 101 and Canada 1. Canada 1 is the Trans-Canadian Highway. So we want to follow that, which is to the left. See, there's our interchange. 101 goes to the right, which is southwest. We want to go to the left, which is southeast. And the park is just a few miles down there. Well, let's watch our speed. We can only do views from the outside of the circle cam, because if you recall, my drone controls are on the open pedals, and since it doesn't have autopilot, I can't use my drone controls because they don't have control of the airplane. Now we could trim it perfectly and have it set perfectly and everything, and then let it coast on its own while I use the drone for a moment, but any bit of wind or turbulence or anything will send the plane haywire, so we only have the circle cam. But anyway, we're just going to follow the Trans-Canada Highway here, and then we will look for Center of Canada Park. Now when it says Center of Canada, remember it means Center of Canada east to west. It does not mean Center of Canada north to south, because we're actually quite close to the US border. We're in very southern Canada, if you know where Winnipeg is, and we're south of Winnipeg even. So just beyond the Center of Canada Park is the US border. So center east to west, but all the same, it's just as awesome. So we're going to fly along here, try to find this park. Like I said, I have the POI labels turned off on purpose so we have to look for ourselves. And it is on the east side of the highway, so that's why we're on this side, so we can stay over the highway, because if we're over directly, it's hard to see. And we can look outside like this. So some industry, and more industry. And if you're wondering, Winnipeg is straight back there. It shouldn't be hard to find. So that'll be the second half. So on the map in real life, one of these roads like this comes up to it. So there will be a T, but I think it's 3 or 4 T's down. So this will be the second one. So we'll look for a few more T's coming up to the highway. And then we will know where the park is. So while we're cruising around here, here's some trivia for you. In most states, I can't speak for all states, but I can speak for most states that I know the traffic laws. If you're at an uncontrolled intersection, who has the right of way? Well, of course, it's the traffic on the right. However, if it's a T who has the right of way, well, the traffic that doesn't have to turn has the right of way. So these people here, even if they're on the right, if it's uncontrolled, they have to yield. I know that because I live in a neighborhood where I drive through 7 T's every time I drive the neighborhood, and it's amazing how many people don't know that. Will come up on the right, I won't stop, they get mad at me for not stopping because they're on the right side, but it's a T, so they do not have the right of way. Yeah. In fact, I live on a T, and every freaking time I go home, I have to even though I have the right of way, I still have to yield to people speeding, flying up to the T and turning, even though I have the right of way. It just kind of bugs me. I'm trying to let it go, but it's difficult because I see so many accidents every day, and I'm trying to get the city to put a stop sign in, and they're like, oh, it doesn't meet criteria. I'm like, what criteria doesn't it meet? The dozen or two near accidents every day doesn't meet criteria? Okay, whatever. But I live in a very reactive state. If there is an accident, then they'll put a sign up, but not until there's been a few. Anywho, just making conversation to look for this park. It should be pretty darn close here. I mean, I didn't get the mileage, and that was on purpose because I wanted to, like, I think that might be it right there. I wanted to see how far it would be on my own. So we're just glancing at the neighborhoods and the beautiful trees and the farmland. Now, remember, with POIs, they kind of stick out like a sore thumb because they're handmade. So they kind of are cartoonish, and this to me is sticking out like a sore thumb. So we'll see if that's the park. Can't guarantee it until we get there, though. But we're just gonna say nice and low, and you know it when you see it because there's a sign and a big chair. And then we'll try to land on that service road, and then walk around to look at the park. But we have to find it first. No, I don't see a sign, or do we? No, that does not look like the park, even though there's a big T here. And maybe it's the next T then. If we go too far, I will turn POI labels on and then we'll look for it. But I can't imagine we've gone too far. Like, yeah, I can't imagine. There's a pretty nice cloud coverage going on. Oh, see that huge plane over there? I guarantee you they took off Winnipeg, even though they're really low, though. Are they landing? I could turn on labels and then... Oops, I better be careful so we don't miss our park here. I could turn on labels and get their altitude, see if they're climbing or descending, but well, they disappeared. Oh no, there they are. They're still up there. Alrighty, still looking for this park though. Hopefully I didn't pass it when I was staring at the airplane. Yeah, I don't know. Not sure what to make out here because I thought we were going to get to it right away, but maybe it's further along than I thought. I am doing 160 kilometers an hour airspeed. Or maybe that's it right there. Maybe that's it right there. Yep, that's looking really promising. There's a big sign. Yeah, that's definitely it. It sticks out like a sore thumb, just like I was talking about. So there is our Center of Canada Park. We'll do a flyby here, and then we'll turn around and land on the service road. And then we'll walk around. Oh, what's my smart cam button? That one. Because I want to get credit for POIs, even though I got that achievement years ago, and the smart cam thing is all screwed up. So what that POI thing is if you get to like 100 POIs with the smart cam, then you get a achievement, which I got, years ago, year or whatever ago, but I just like to get credit anyway in case they bump it up to like 500 or something. Then I want to count them. Alright, you go for a set of flaps, coming in low and scary, because why not? And then we're just going to come back here. Whoa, second set of flaps. or full flap, I guess. All right, cool. We're just gonna try to land on this service road. In real life, it's probably insanely bumpy and scary, and the wind is not in our favor. Holy cow! When it bounced a lot, because the wind was not. I was not in control of my aircraft. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Okay. Look at. Okay. Okay. We're gonna park at the park. Oh, no, we're not. Did I hit a rock? I did. I hit a rock. Oh my gosh, that was horrible. Like, that was so bad for many reasons. Like, this road is so bumpy, and then the wind was so awful. I had no control of my aircraft, and then I should have just not landed. I should have kept going until I had control of my aircraft with that wind change, and then landed. And the highway would have been much smoother. Well, now we crashed, so are we going to make it to Winnipeg? I don't think there's a reset button, so if I reset, it's going to go to, like, the airport again. Anyway, let's go out in the drone. Oh my, that's funny. Let's go in the drone and let's, you know, look around the park. So there we go. There's your Center of Canada Park. There's your big chair. I don't know why there's a chair. I guess I could have read about this before I came here to see why there's a chair, but there's a chair. And then there's the flag, of course. Longitudinal Center of Canada. That's super cool. And another chair. And what else? What's this here? Flowers, maybe. More signs you can read. I could slow the drone down to walking speed. Can't remember how to do that. I think you come up here, go to camera, and click on showcase, right? And then drone speed. Oh, you have to like reset it and then go slow. I think you go like that. And I think it'll slow down. Nope. What? I know there's a way to do it. Not feeling. I'm used to clicking on that out of habit. Just like I drove to my mother-in-law's yesterday, except I drove to the kids' school instead, out of habit. And then I had to drive to my mother-in-law's. Okay, is it like this? I used to do this all the time. There we go, that's a little better. Alright, let's see. Is it readable? Nobody get the... You have arrived at the Longitudinal Center of Canada. And then it's in French, and then I can't read the rest. There's a bench. And we got Canadian flags, benches, rocks. Is that like a Hyundai Genesis or something? And then we got some cars. And more rocks. Is that like a Fiat? It's not a Fiat. I should know what this is. It's like a Fiat with 4 doors. Oh, is that the Fiat X500? I bet it is. And what do we have here? I should know what that is from looking at it. It's not a Maserati. I don't know by those tail lights. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's European. No idea. But anyway, there is your park that you see on the splash screen every time you load the sim with the Canada update being current. Looks awesome, and now my airplane crashed. Not only because of the terrible wind change and terrible landing decisions that I made, but because we hit a rock. I was going to park in the parking lot. But there are rocks. So, oh well, I don't think I can reset this thing. So I think we have to leave it. I do not think we can continue. Yeah, we can restart, but that'll go back to the other airport. So there's not like in Forza where you can reset your car. If there is, I don't know it. So I think we're stuck here. Wait, I have an idea. Can we slew? Yeah. We can slew, right? We can go up like this and slew, and now we're flying. Ha ha! Ha ha! I have never used slew in my life. So there we go. Now we're flying again. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was clever. I'm going to pat myself on the back for that because I've never slewed in my life. So let's turn around now and continue on our trip as we had really planned, and that was to go to Winnipeg and land this thing. Hopefully we'll have a much better success. Where am I going? This way. Much better success landing this in Winnipeg. There's our park there, so let's slow down and dive so we can look at it again one final time here before we fly away. And the sun is coming up even more, which is awesome. Well, we're right over the park now, so we're not going to be able to see much. But let's just dive down. There we go. When we did the bush trip with this thing, we landed perfectly fine every time, so I don't know. I want to say that the road was bad and there were rocks in the way. So anyway, let's get going. We'll take the Trans-Canada Highway back towards Winnipeg. Now, I do not know the way to Winnipeg other than looking at our trusty VFR map, which is how we do in real life in a plane like this. So basically, well, there it is right there. So basically, we're just going to follow the Trans-American Highway, which, why aren't the roads on the VFR map? Why aren't there roads on the VFR map? Interesting. Well, we're going to take it this way towards the airport, which is about the same distance again after our original airport. So there we go. That's how we know where we're going. Very simple. But we're going to fly full speed, get a little bit of altitude, I guess, because that'll help. Reset the barometer just in case. And maybe hit some clouds. Let's see, this time of year in Winnipeg, it could be cold enough there's icing. I don't remember if I have icing turned on or off. I guess I'll find out if we get in the clouds. But we shouldn't get into IMC anyway, because we're flying completely VFR. So, not sure if this is really a VFR day, to be honest. We're only at 1,600 feet getting into the clouds. Anywho, enough talking from me. I'm going to try to set up some sightseeing views back to Winnipeg. I'll do the best I can since I don't have drone, because if I did drone, watch what happens to the plane. It's just going to do whatever it wants, which is go straight up, even though I had it trimmed, but it's just so windy. So now it's coming down, see? That's why I don't use the drone. It's all autopilot most of the time. Alrighty, enough from me. I'll see you in Winnipeg. Have fun looking around with me, I guess. Alright, pointing out that there's our original interchange, so this going left to right in the distance is 101, and we're over Canada 1, which is the Trans-Canada Highway, and there's our airport off to the right. Can you see it in the fog now that we're higher? I don't think you can, but our airport's over here. I don't know if you can really make it out in the fog, but anywho, there's your highway, for those of you who know the area, going off into the distance, and this is interesting, right there, cool. And over here, there's our airport, can't really make it out, but there's an airport there, I promise. That's where we took off from, and we're just going to follow this in to Winnipeg, I guess. I mean, we're still on track here for Winnipeg. We're going to go over the urban area and then land. We will use we use ATC when we get closer. In fact, we should probably tune in now because we wouldn't be in their airspace. And we're getting up in the fog as we climb. What are we at now? 2,600. We should probably stay around here. We're really pushing the limit of this airplane, but that's what I like to do. So let's call ATC, tell them where we're at, and let's see, Winnipeg International. Let's do the ATIS.
Winnipeg Airport Information, India 1400 Zulu. Wind 127 at 8. Visibility, tree in heavy rain. Sky condition, ceiling 1,000 feet overcast. Temperature 14. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.11. ILS Zulu runway 13 in use. Landing and departing runway 13. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have India.
Alright, let's do the tower here. Full stop landing.
Tower Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 is 9 miles east 1,500 feet with Juliet to land.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 Tower. Altimeter 29.11, wind 127 at 8. Fly left traffic runway 13.
Alrighty.
Make left traffic runway 13 Turtle Soup Tango 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 41.
Alright, you can hear the rain coming down, and the cloud base is coming down, so obviously this would not be VFR conditions. This would probably not even be special VFR at this airport. Special VFR is when you're flying VFR, but you need to use instruments to get through and land, which is what we would like to do now, but you have to have special experience to do that. I guess, do we have a VFR? VOR? No. See, I was going to say, if we had a card, I would tune in the ILS using the VFR map. You better watch where we're going here. So I would tune it in. I don't even, yeah, there's no nav. Never mind. So, if we had a more modern aircraft, even slightly more modern than this, we would look on the VFR chart. I'll show you what we would do. We would go here and click on this, and it said ILS 13, I think. We would put that in, and then we would set up whatever degree that said. I can't look, 131 or something, and then we would use that to land. But we're not able to do that in this airplane, so it wants us to do a left traffic pattern for 13. So 13 is 130, so is it going to be that one right there probably? So we are left, so let's turn a little bit, come down here, make a left traffic pattern to 13, and we are completely in the fog. This would not be flyable right now. We would have to divert quickly. We wouldn't even gotten this far. We would have diverted to a different airport, obviously, because we can't really see what we're doing. There's some industry down there, but this is still fun, and since it's a sim, school buses, and since we're in the simulator, we'll do it. Ooh, let's not hit the buildings. I saw them rendering in. Well, that's the runway over there. At the airport to our right now. It is. So we're going to, well, no, we'll still go closer before we make our traffic pattern. But yeah, this has got very interesting in a hurry. This is super cool. I'm glad this is working out like this, though. This is really fun. There's the river. Maybe those of you from the area know what we're looking at. Obviously, we're flying over downtown Winnipeg, because why not? We can. And don't worry, we'll get an outside view here too in a moment. I just want to fly over everything. Oh, school bus down there. Something about the school buses today. I don't think we're going to hit anything, but boy are we close. Boy are we close. Take some screenshots of this because this is pretty awesome. The airport's going to be right below us in a minute, so we're going to have to make a turn to the right to join the traffic pattern here in a moment. I just want to get some of the skyline in the view. There we go. And straighten out. Which way am I flying? Whoa! Did you see that? Gust did something to me. Holy moly. Alright, so there's airport up there somewhere. I see lights for a different runway, not our runway. Let's use the VFR map to tell us what we're doing. Okay, we're doing pretty well, actually. So, like I said, 13 I'm pretty sure is here, because 130 degrees. Wind is coming from here, so it'll be a little bit crosswind from the left. Not too terrible. We'll see if I can land this plane. I have read and heard from people in real life that one bounce is actually acceptable, which, okay, fine with me, so as long as we keep it under one bounce. We'll do the best we can. I'm just reading the thing that Autopilot or ATC told us. Okay, so now we're looking for a runway, and then we'll turn to line up with it a little better, or be parallel to it anyway. I guess we could do that now a little bit. Oh no, we want to go straight because we don't want to interrupt any traffic landing here. So there could be traffic. Could be, I doubt it, but there could be. Anyway, this is super fun. This is really cool. I did not expect all this to happen, so I'm glad it's happening. I can't make others a runway here. We're going to be opposite that, so we're going to get as close as we can see, and then we'll go parallel to it, and then we'll make a really sharp U-turn and land. And like I said, if we had our localizer ILS capabilities, I would use that VFR map, which is new in Sim Update 10. I would use the information on that map, and we would, what's that? That's 18, yeah. And we would tune it in. So why is 13 not even like lit up? I mean, that is best for the wind, but have they cleared me to land yet? I don't think so.
Turtle Soup Tango,
Oh, there we
Tango,
go.
Tango, for one wind, 127 at 8.
Cleared to land runway 13, Turtle Soup Tango, Tango Tango 41.
Alright, it's a super long runway and we only need like a tenth of it. So we'll have a really short final here. Gear's already down, obviously. Nothing else to do except flaps when we get there. We've got to keep an eye out the window and on our flaps there. We're going to make a sharp turn to the left. Try to line up with it. Oh, it is lit up now. Did they light it up just for me? That's nice. That's nice of them. Except I need to lose a lot of speed here. Alright. We can do this. We have a long runway. We don't need to land in a hurry. I just want to land somewhat smoothly. We are in a tail dragger, so we have to have a very soft rate of descent at touchdown so we don't bounce too much. We got to balance the airplane too. Even if we have a perfect rate of descent during touchdown, if we're unbalanced, like too far forward or too far back, it'll bounce too. So it's not just like a soft touchdown. So we want to be balanced. Like I said, you can see there's a little bit of crosswind from the left, just barely though. So we could do left wing down into the wind, right rudder to compensate, and then touchdown the left main. But I'm just going to try to land. I'm not. It's such a barely detectable crosswind. We're basically into the wind, so I'm just going to try to land as nicely as I can. There we go. This is a huge wide runway, so it looks like we're almost touching down, but we're still quite high. That's a problem with small planes and big airports. See, it looks like we're going to touch down, right? But I bet we're still 20 feet up. So let's let it stall, let ground effects take over, and here we go. There we go, no bounce. Look at that. Holy cow. Okay, so now we just have to taxi. So flaps are in. That was a perfect landing. And I could have stopped within a foot. The wind was, nope, the wind was strong enough. Let's keep the yoke all the way back. The wind was strong enough, and it was slow enough we could have stopped, like literally on a dime. And I do have the yoke all the way back, so it doesn't try to take off on us, and flaps are in. So I just got to find the next taxiway, and we will park this thing somewhere. I should have made a note from the air where the taxiways were. There's a taxiway to the left. It's not a runway. You see the blue lights, so we'll go down there. I think it's a high speed from the other direction, but it'll work for us. Actually, no, let's go to the right.
Turtle Soup Tango
I
Tango
know.
Tango 41. Turn next taxiway.
Yeah, we're going to as soon as we get over here. Looks like it's going to be Delta, maybe. Alright, I just can't believe that I landed this. Like, if we were in the mountains and we had, like, no runway to land on, that would have been, like, a perfect landing. How come I didn't do that when we had the bush trips going? I was so excited. I'm so proud of that landing. We will use Charlie, obviously. Here we go. And then we'll stop here. Request parking, all that stuff.
Tango 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 41. Turn next taxiway.
I know. We're working on it. Don't tip over. Don't tip over. Here we go. Now we can do something.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Okay, here we go.
121.9er, Turtle Soup, Tango, Tango Tango 41. Ground Turtle Soup, Tango 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 41, request taxi to parking.
Turtle Soup Tango 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 41 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Golf Bravo 6 Charlie cross runway tree 6 Charlie Charlie cross runway 1 tree Charlie Hotel Sierra 1.
Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Golf Bravo 6 Charlie, cross runway tree, 6 Charlie Charlie, cross runway, 1 tree Charlie Hotel Sierra, 1, Turtle Soup Tango, Tango Tango 41.
Okay, I normally don't. Is there a follow me car yet? No. Well, let's turn on the taxi ribbon. I normally hate the taxi ribbon when you're taking off and stuff because you end up, if you don't go exactly right on it, when you take off it stays and keeps telling you to go back. But for landing, I guess it'll be okay. Or arrival, I guess it'll be okay. So let's just follow here. Can't see much. If this is a regular aircraft, it would be a mix between outside taxiing view and inside view. I just like to see around when we taxi. I mean, taxiing is fun, but I just like to look around and stuff. So I will use the outside view most of the time. Because, you know, a lot of people think, oh, simulator flying is just being in the air and doing things, but I prefer the ground activity just as much as flying. And of course, if it wants a good landing, the landing is fun, but I don't put as much into the landing. Like, I try to do the best I can, you know, and I've proven myself hundreds of times, but to me, that's not, like, what it's all about. To me, it's the whole experience from startup to ATC to taxiing to departing, stuff in the air. Landing is good. I mean, it carries more weight than the other things, but it's just part of it. And then taxiing back, all that stuff. So I feel kind of silly using the taxi ribbon, but I just want to see what the sim is like now when you park where they want you to. Because you can park anywhere you want, but if you park where they want you to, with the changes to the logbook and everything, I want to see what happens. It used to be the logbook wouldn't count unless you parked where they wanted you to. It was so annoying. So in the beginning, so many of us have so many hours that are not logged because you used to have to park where you wanted to count those hours. It was so stupid. And then they fixed it, but then erased all hours we did have. So a lot of us that don't have the $1,000 achievement yet do have 1,000 hours. But ooh, look at that lightning! There's the sun just coming out. Just weather change. But anyway, those days are long gone, so everything counts, even if you don't park where they want you to, I believe. So if you're in the air for 10 hours and don't even land, I think it still counts, if I remember correctly now. But it used to not. So let's go where they want us to park, and we'll see what it's like with Sim Update 10. And now they want us to turn back over the runway, which we'll do here. And again, I have my yoke all the way back so that it doesn't even try to lift that tail wheel. Flaps are in, obviously. I do have all the lights on. I did turn the landing lights on because they didn't see taxi lights. But hopefully we don't blind anybody. But now we gotta go this long way. And that's another reason why I don't usually taxi ribbon, especially at big airports. I just park in the closest spot, but I figured why not today? Why not? And I do have real-time, real-world traffic turned on. We haven't had any other traffic, which is interesting because when we were at some of the bigger flights I did, well, maybe I didn't record those. No, I recorded them. We had a lot of traffic at some of those airports, and we had like constant ATC. So maybe I screwed up my ATC. Let's see here. Whoa, the wind got me. Okay, I was going too fast and we got a big crosswind there. What if we go back to clearance? Nope, just clearance and ground services. Okay. And I don't think there are any ground services. So yeah, I don't know. We're either tuned on a different frequency already or something, but there's no traffic here at all, even though it's all turned on. And yes, I am speeding up my taxi a little bit because this is getting long, but then the wind takes us, so we're just gonna be patient, take your time, and we'll get there. We'll get there. I feel like this taxi is going on forever. Does it finally turn up there? It has to turn at some point. I mean, it's been over 15 minutes for me taxiing this thing. Obviously, I cut most of it out, but holy moly, rock and rolly. All I want to do is see what happens in Sim Update 10 when you park where they want you to. That's all I want to do. That's why I'm doing this, but we're going to earn it, that's for sure. My hand is getting tired from holding the yoke back. I could probably let go. Nope, see. If I let go of the yoke, then the wind catches us a little bit, and the tail wheel gets lighter. So we're going to do this to keep the tail wheel down. Otherwise it gets lighter and it tries to do things. So, oh my gosh. Why didn't it just tell us to turn to the right? Because I have a feeling we're literally going back to where we started. I'm serious, because this is 31. Well, I guess we're not, but I feel like we're just going to be parking. I mean, we have had that happen. Why do they have us go that way? We have had that happen when we taxi, where they do literally bring us back to where we started after taxiing around the whole thing. Now the taxi ribbon should adjust for us, or is it not if you don't stay perfect? Oh, it's still back there too. Okay, so it's not like Pac-Man anymore. Because it used to be like Pac-Man. When you would go on the taxi ribbon, it would disappear behind you. Whoa, careful. Careful. Skipped over. Yeah, it used to disappear like Pac-Man, but okay, so I guess we're just gonna keep doing it. Maybe they did that because if you would leave an airport and then taxi perfectly, it would stay like I was saying. So maybe we will keep the taxi ribbon on for a couple flights and see what happens. Maybe it's not bad now. I don't know, but holy cow, this is taking forever. I'll see you in a little bit. So I took out the drone to see what they had us do to taxi. We landed on 13, so that's 31. The opposite of 31 is 13, just coincidentally. So we landed here. We took the first taxiway, which had to have been here because we landed on a dime. So we took this taxiway. Instead of having us turn around and come through here, like this, boom, it had us go all the way around the entire airport. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that because it does silly things like that. But anyway, let's resume our taxi. And it's a race, and we won. How about that? Oh, they were looking at us too. I know we're cutting across, but we're doing this for time. At least the traffic waited for us. Alright, so we're going to park right here. Oh, after all that, we don't even get a parking guy. Or do we? No, I don't. Yeah, there are 2 parking guys. We get 2 parking guys. Great, well, let's park here. And like I've been saying, see what happens when we land or park where they want us to park in Sim Update 10. Because I haven't parked there, assigned parking for hundreds of flights. Because I just do whatever I want. So here we go. So turn green. Let's get the brakes ready. And whoop, let's do a little bit more. Get inside the box. It's like the Brady Bunch parking contest. There we go. Set the parking brake. And now when we turn things off, we will see what it wants. Turn off all that stuff and turn off these things. And what happens? It used to do the log and everything and record your flight, and that was the only way for it to count. The log doesn't come up anymore, which is fine. Doesn't need to. Are those flaps there? Yeah. Okay, so we parked where we wanted to. Nothing different happened. Oh, there we go. There's the save icon. That's what I was looking for. Okay, so nothing happens, which is fine. Because remember, you used to end your flight, and then we wouldn't be able to have an outro, remember? That's one reason why I stopped doing it that way. What, is he telling us to keep moving forward? Nope. So, that's one reason why I stopped parking where they wanted us to, because, well, where's my control here? We wouldn't be able to continue. So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed it. My quick little flight turned out to be well over an hour for me. But we got some awesome weather, awesome scenery. We crashed, which is hilarious, and we parked where they wanted us to, which nothing happens, except it just, nothing happens, which is fine, because that means I can still continue to park wherever I wanted. I'm sure the logbook has this flight, so I'm not worried about that. Anyway, like, subscribe, so you know what happens next. If you have a flight of your own you want me to do, put it in the comments below, and that is it for today, and I'll see you next time.